Hello, it is Tuesday afternoon and it is 4:03 and I need to set up my room for clay, but we're fast. Just wanted to go through what kids did in class today, which remember all my classes are doing the same thing with this project. They're doing the same steps. First thing that they did today is we did a review. I asked them a few questions about what we did yesterday, which was good because a lot of them don't remember those clay stages and they don't remember how it gets from one stage to the next. And so that was a good review. And then a couple of classes did not get the video about scoring and slipping, so we watched that. And then I did an in-person demonstration with very basic clay techniques, pinch and pull, rolling coils, and score and slip, which by the way is scratching and putting water on it to attach it. And then from there, I gave them about 20-25 minutes to finish their drawings, which I required them to make it look good, or rather make it understandable and make it colored, and to label it. So we learned those techniques. I wanted them to label where they're going to use what techniques, just to get them thinking about how they're actually going to make the project. And so that was pretty simple. And then after that, at the end of the class, I went ahead and did our clay technique quiz, which if I can grab it, hang on. It looks like this. And so really simple. I list the 3 techniques I demonstrated for them on the side, and then they are to write, in their own words, how to complete it. I had to point out to them for pinch and pull, don't just write pinch and pull, you need to actually be descriptive. And then on the far, I guess that's your right, on the far other side, it says what to use it for. They had to give me an example of what they would make with that technique. And this happened after they already labeled their drawing, so that should have been pretty easy, and it actually was for most kids. Only had a couple kids who just got totally stumped and gave up and copied, and so a couple kids got zeros. But most kids did pretty good. If they got kind of stuck, I didn't worry too much about it. I just kind of showed them the hand motions that I used to make it, and that worked out. So that's what we did in class today. Right now, like I said, I'm going to set it for clay. So I'm going to go ahead and do all that, and then I'll explain my man. Then I'll go ahead and explain my plan. it's technically 5:15, but I got interrupted by the custodian, and I didn't want to be moving around furniture while she was sweeping. So it's only taking maybe an hour or so to set up, which is really good. Technically, I'm not done because I ran out of clear box tape, which is super necessary for when you want to put things down and have them stay flat. And so I am going to go buy some more tape. I have to go buy a couple little things that I thought of and want to have. So I'll go buy the tape with that. I even bought a new roll of tape at Dollar Tree the other day. Probably should have bought 2, but I ran out. Probably didn't help that because it was dollar store tape. It kind of ripped in pieces. Okay, so I'm going to kind of go real quick over what I have planned. Here is the overview. I have the room split up. There are 2 pods of tables for clay on the far side of the room, and then we have the leftover tables over here. Okay, so kind of going in order as what you saw me set up. So I arranged the tables, which, by the way, I started the stools over there. I had kids set those up earlier. I am starting them all grouped together because it's just going to be a little bit easier when we are managing with clay. For kids to pick their spots, a little easier to leave the stools there. We'll see how the days go. I think it's going to just be easier to just leave them there because they'll be easier to clean up. First thing is I put pink dots on the floor so that kids will sit in specific spots. This is going to help spread out kids. It's going to help prevent issues, and I even specifically left some spots open like the end of those tables so that there is room to walk around. Next thing is I labeled the tables. Like this says clay tables, and the other 4 tables have clean table on them just to give a visual reminder of what's supposed to happen where, and that's going to be super helpful for some people. Then on the floor, sorry, a little dizzy there, on the floor I have this black line. That is the clay line, and I even have a couple of signs to put around it, but I ran out of tape, so I got to put them down. There will be a sign on one side that says clay does not go here, and this clay only on this side. So there's that. Let's see, coming back over here, I grabbed the floor mat from the hallway, the small one, so that kids can wipe their feet on their way out. Hopefully the custodian won't be too confused, but she'll probably appreciate it when she realizes it's going to keep the hallway clean. I even put a check your shoes sign so that kids can check their shoes for clay. Sometimes when clay gets dropped on the floor, kids step on it and then track it everywhere, so that's why that's there. Got backpacks go here, which is of course going to go on the clean side. Let's see, we have, this is my management station, so I have my laminated handouts that they're going to use. I thought about taping these to the tables, then I decided not to, because kids aren't really going to use them, they're just going to get in the way. And then I have my cleanup stack, so this I'm going to project on the board, and then underneath, I'll have to cover up names, but underneath I have a chart with the different tasks, and then the kids' names are on the right underneath the cleanup steps thing, and I'll project that. And then I even came up with just now a few things that kids can do when they are done early cleaning up, some things they can help with. Let's see, then over here, along the window on the blinds, I put a bunch of paper clips, and that white plastic stack are disposable aprons, which we are probably going to run out. I think we have like 27, and typically a few have to be thrown out each day that we use them because they get torn up, they don't last all day. So there's that. Here is my table, and I moved my computer over there because I wanted to make sure that it doesn't get tons of dust on it, which I don't know if it's going to work there because I'm going to put a shelf right there with all the kids' stuff. But, so there's that. But this is kind of the clean station. So we got the clean newspaper and clean towels. We have the templates. Those are all the posters I got to put away later. Tomorrow, or the next day, when we have a bunch of artwork already collected and started, I will show you my system for sorting artwork. But coming back over here, this is my clay station. So I have my first bag of clay, which reminds me I need to bring in more clay before I leave, because I do not want to do that in the middle of the day tomorrow. I have the scrap clay bucket, which I put a plastic bag in there, so it just all goes in there. and when it's ready to be reconstituted, I can just put water in there. My clever design for a drying rack for towels. So I have a bunch of little towels that we're going to use for cleanup. We're not using paper towels. We're going to try and survive without paper towels. And so I just kind of hung this up to, or put a bunch of paper clips on a dollar bucket. That's not a bucket. This is a clothes basket. I just put a ton of my clothespins on the clothes basket. I have like hundreds of these clothespins, by the way. That's why I'm using them everywhere today. And so whenever, like earlier in the day, if we get a towel that's kind of dirty, I'll rinse it out and then I'll hang it up, and I'm going to use my dehumidifier. So those should dry by the end of the day, and so they can be reused 7th, 8th period if we run out. Now we have a ton, but we might run out. Here is my water bucket. This is my plan for distributing water. They're going to have a bunch of cups by their desk, which are these right here, H2O. And so this is me redistributing water. So kids don't have to get up. That is my goal. Kids are not going to get up. Rollers for making slabs. Then we have the sponge bucket. And I'm sorry to that student who put them all neatly in order, but it bugged me, so I had to mix them up. She put them all in rows, and I was like, okay, thank you. But yes, so sponge bucket. These are for cleaning tools, so partway through class periods, I will take it and I will fill it just a little bit with water, and the students' cleaning tools will stand at this counter. We'll have maybe 2 or 3 or even all 4 of these buckets, just depends on what we need, and the kids will have a rag or a sponge in there. Oh, which reminds me, let's do those, put a bunch of sponges in there. They'll be using those sponges to clean the clay off. Now, they're not going to be perfectly clean throughout the day, but the goal is to make it so it's not so gunky. This is the portable tool container. So part of my job with distribution is I will be passing out, or I'll probably have a student volunteer, pass out these supplies. But yeah, they are sorted nice and neatly so that they can be distributed to the tables evenly. Which, by the way, this empty bucket, we're going to do plastic knives and forks. I have to bring those from home. That is on my to-do list. Over here on my cart, we got the hand washing station. And so those buckets will have clean water in there, which I will try to change out every class period, every other class period, depending on what's going on. For kids, which I don't know how well this is going to work, but I got a cheap towel and I cut it in half, and so kids can dry their hands on those. I will definitely take those home and wash them probably every day, but we'll see how that goes. Then second to last thing to point out is I have a couple of these around the room to say clay is not trash, because I do not want kids to put clay in the trash can. That's what the scrap bucket is for. Last thing is I put a bag of hair bands up here. They were $100 for $1, which is awesome. So that's super handy for girls who have long hair, because normally these young middle school girls, they like to wear their hair nice and long and pretty and down, and they never think to bring a rubber band, or as they call them, a jongo. I don't know what that means. I didn't hear that until I started teaching, but they normally forget, so I just bought 100 of them so they can just use them however, and I have more if we run out. Okay, that was a lot. So hopefully this goes on. Okay, that was a lot. So my philosophy with this, as you can probably tell, is to overthink everything and to almost micromanage everything in a way. That's my micromanaging, is all those signs and labels. And the reason why I did all those signs and labels to give the kids a little bit of autonomy when they are cleaning up, because I know that I am not going to be able to watch every little bit, every little action, every little person. I'm not going to be able to watch every little thing. And so that's why I put the signs everywhere. That's why everything's clearly labeled, because I want kids to be able to be able to clean up everything by themselves and for it to be good. So, crossing my fingers, say a prayer. It's going to be good. I'm going to go finish buying my few things and go home and chill out. I am exhausted. I'm going to go to bed early tonight and try and get here a little bit earlier than normal. Thankfully, I do not have duty in the morning, which is good. But here goes nothing. I'll see you tomorrow.